My name is Anita, and I'm from Poland, and I'm really glad to be here for my second time because I love this city. I think Lviv is really beautiful. I'm a psychologist, but I don't lead any therapy. It means that I used to conduct trainings, I used to develop people's soft skills. And I'm here to talk about imposter syndrome, which I think is really common nowadays. And I think it's really common in IT world, but this is only my opinion. It's not based on any researchers or something. Okay, so let's start with a question. I guess you have some success in your life, right? Some goals you've achieved and you are proud of it. And I'm wondering, how would you answer what made you succeed? What made you succeed?
Luck.
Luck. Okay, what else?
Perseverance.
Excuse me?
Perseverance. Keeping up.
Keeping up. Okay, what else? Why so shy?
Working hard.
Working hard, okay. So most of healthy thinking people would say, I succeed because of my intelligence, because of my knowledge, because of my experience, my skills, capabilities, also because of my talents. I've needed a bit of luck also and a bit of hard work, but most of all, it was me who did it. I did it. And when I get some rewards for my work, when I get some positive feedback, I may feel a bit shy, but most of all, I feel fine, I feel comfortable. And I'm able to internalize this feedback. And then when I think of new project, new task to do, new challenge, I believe I can make it. I may have some moments of self-doubt, this is okay, but most of all, I believe I can make it, and I believe I have a package of resources to cope with this new situation. And then I get, again, positive feedback and I internalize it. And this is a kind of cycle we build our self-esteem. And this is not the way people with imposter syndrome think. And how do they think? I'll tell you in a moment, but now I would like to tell you what is not the imposter syndrome. And it's not a situation when someone is a real imposter, when someone is cheating, when someone is pretending. And it is also not a situation that we all know moments of self-doubt. But if there are only moments, this is fine, this is okay. And this is also not a disease. The strongest definition I found says this is soft personality dysfunction. And in psychiatry we have DSM-4. It's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, and there is no imposter syndrome right there. So we can relax. This is also not a women's problem only. Mrs. Ims and Klams, who discovered the syndrome, they have such a hypothesis, but now we know this is not unique to women. This is people's problem, I think. Okay, does it concern me? You can check. The first one is very short, you can find it on the internet. And the second one is Klams IP scale, and I think it's recommendable because it's used to serious psychological research to find the traits, to find the links to other personality traits. So I can recommend it to you. Two definitions. First by Holly Hodgkins. She's doing some research on imposter syndrome nowadays. And these are thoughts and feelings of intellectual phoniness and the inability to internalize personal success. It's thinking and feeling like we are a fraud or fake. And the other one by Psychology Today, the imposter syndrome is a pattern of behavior where people doubt their accomplishments and have a persistent, often internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. And remember I told you about the cycle of build our self-esteem. And now it's the imposter cycle. And let's imagine I have a new project, challenge, task to do. For example, my first talk in English for IT conference. It's a big challenge, isn't it, right? And what do I feel about that? I feel anxiety, self-doubt, worry, and this is okay, but when those emotions are very strong and I cannot sleep, I cannot think of something else but this talk, this is wrong, okay? Something isn't okay. And I have two strategies. First one is over-preparation. So I go into perfectionism. It's like never-ending story because my talk won't be good enough. I will work on it all the time. And the second one is procrastination. So I'll behave like Scarlett O'Hara and I'll think about it tomorrow. Procrastination is a tendency to put off or avoid some activity. So instead of working on my talk, I'll be scrolling internet, chatting with my friends, going shopping, and so on. And what if I succeed? So my talk was assessed very well. What do I feel about that? I don't feel proud of myself. Most of all, I feel relief. And when I get some positive feedback, I'm trying to justify it. I'm saying, what do you know about the subject? Or you are giving me positive feedback only because you like me. That's the reason. And what's next? What's the mechanism? If I choose procrastination and I succeed, I was lucky. Dumb luck. I passed the exam because I had simple questions, and that's the reason. And what if I choose over-preparation? I've worked so hard, day and night. It was such a hard work, and that's the reason. And then all my imposter feelings are even stronger because I don't believe I did it. It wasn't me. I was just lucky. It was luck or very hard work. And then new project, new challenge, task. I don't believe I can repeat that because I don't believe I have a package of resources to cope with the situation. And that's the cycle. Sounds familiar? Oh, not good. Okay, persons with impostorism are an experts on their own disasters, so they blame themselves for any mistakes and any failings. Live in a permanent fear and sense of threat because they often worry about being found out, not to be as good as others think they are. They feel extreme fear of failure. If I make a mistake, I will prove I've been faking it all along. They are afraid of evaluation. They attribute success to external factors like dumb luck, hard work. For example, you get a promotion at work and your inner narrative is that it must have been short on candidates, or for example, I am the less nerdy in my team. That's the main reason. They are not able to accept any praise, they feel uncomfortable, they need to justify it, they are not able to internalize positive feedback. And the problem with imposter syndrome is the problem with the way we think, because reality proves us that everything is fine and we succeed, but we don't feel like that. We see the world not as it is, but as we are. And what are the consequences? What are the symptoms? For example, not sharing any original ideas. Why? Because we are afraid of assessment. We are afraid of failure. Not sharing their knowledge and experience with others. And if they do so, they bear high emotional costs. Rarely applying for a promotion and raise. Not taking the initiative. Working too much. Why? Because they need to prove they are worthy. And if you work too much, there's a big chance for a burnout. And they also suffer mentally. Who is affected? Everyone can be affected, especially successful people. celebrities, politicians, academics, general managers running billion-dollar companies, speakers who command audiences in the thousands, everyone. And based on research, we don't see imposters perform worse. They are often above average performers. They are highly competent people. Do you know the lady, Sheryl Sandberg? There are still days when I wake up feeling like a fraud, not sure I should be where I am. No matter what we've done, there comes a point where you think, how did I get there? When are they going to discover that I am in fact a fraud and take everything away from me? That's by Tom Hanks. Maya Angelou. I've written 11 books, but each time I think, oh, they are going to find out now. I've run a game on everybody and they are going to find me out. And when I first heard about imposter syndrome, I thought this is something we already know, but there is a new name. But now I know it's a separate psychological construct, but there are links to other personality traits. For example, fear. And what is fear? Fear is not just being afraid of something. Fear is an emotion that has a permanent and strong impact on us, and it's based on a thought that something unpleasant may happen. Depressing mood, negative self-esteem, perfectionism, and neuroticism. What is neuroticism? People with neuroticism tend to be moody, labeled, tend to feel emotions like fear, guilty, jealousy, and other negative emotions. So if you have imposter syndrome, there's a big chance for all those personality traits. And people with impostorism don't have any idea it's possible not to feel so anxious and fearful all the time. Luckily, it's possible, but it's hard work. How to cope with imposter syndrome? First of all, try to build your self-esteem. For example, Mrs. Eames, who discovered the syndrome, encourages her client to write down a list of positive feedback they get, success, skills, just to make a realistic assessment when they are truly good at and when there is a room for improvement. And this is the most important one, but the most difficult one, because you should reframe your mental programs. You should change the way you think, because your beliefs are built through your childhood, and now you're not a child anymore, and you should try to change the way you think. And you can make it at home using REBT, and it's rational emotive behavior therapy. And this is a short-term form of psychotherapy that can help you to identify self-defeating thoughts and replace them with healthier, more productive ones. And there are many examples of self-defeating beliefs, like, if I can't be perfect, then I'm a failure. I must never fail or make a mistake, for example. Build your awareness just to recognize the symptoms, just to know where is reality and where is my imposter feelings, where are my imposter feelings. Talk to others. I know it's not so obvious when I'm talking to IT people, okay, but try to talk about your feelings, because you'll realize there are many people who feel the same. And you can use psychotherapy, because therapists can give you tools to cope or to break the cycle of imposter feelings. You can try to cope with procrastination, divide distant goals into smaller ones, and be consistent. Try to cope with your perfectionism, define criteria of performance, and learn how to celebrate when you succeed. Talk to your mentors, not only about the success, but most of all about their mistakes and failures, all the way they went through, because it's very important to see that they are just normal people. Recognize your personal growth. progress instead of comparing yourself to others, because we are able to compare not to the real person but to the image of this person, and it's not good for us, definitely. And accept your imperfections and expose them, and Impostor roster can help you, because it's a funny thing, because you can write down field you are in, months of experience and confession, and programmers, developers are the largest group here. I don't know why. And for example, someone in the software engineering field for 84 months still can't remember the switch syntax for any language. Feel better? Okay, source, if you are interested in subject, and a bit of motivation speech. At the end of the day, remember this: you are here for a reason in this job, your business, your life. You're worthy, you're better than you think you are, smarter than you think you are, you know more than you give yourself credit for, and remember that and remind yourself as often as you need to. Please give me your feedback. Thank you for attention.